esteemed guests, thank you for joining us here at May's Council meeting. Item 1 on the agenda is outgoing chairman's announcements and communications. So, I've attended a couple of functions over the last month. So earlier in thanks, Matt. Earlier in the month, I attended the council offices, and at the front of the council, you notice that there's an English oak that's been planted, and there's a very nice plaque that's been placed with it to commemorate the Platinum Jubilee of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And on the 29th of April, attended Broadland District Council Chairman's civic function at Sprowston Manor, was kindly accompanied by Officer Hume to that. And on the 15th of May, last Sunday, I had the pleasure, accompanied by Councillor Fredericks, in starting the Mammoth Half Marathon at Munsley, which was a really well attended event, and the first one for 3 years, I believe, and inspired a lot of people to get out there and get running. I think there was something in the region of 700 to 800 runners in total doing the full and half marathons, so well done to everyone who took part in that. So my last year, the two charities that we've been supporting have been the Firefighters Charity, which for obvious reasons through my employer close to my heart, and Norfolk and Waveney Mind. Both have been doing sterling work throughout the last few years of the pandemic in supporting communities in various shapes and forms. So I'd like to invite the members, first of all, from Mind to come up to the front, because we've raised in total for each charity in the last year £681.45.
Chairman, firstly, congratulations on your year and the completion of your year. And thank you very much to everybody for inviting us here this evening. My name is Chris Rees, and I'm one of the trustees of Norfolk and Waveney Mind, and I'm here with Ashley from the executive team. I'm here on behalf of our chair, Louise Jordan Hall, and our chief exec, Peter Bosco, who I think many of you might have met at the civic reception last year. And we're very pleased to be welcomed back and to receive this cheque, which will support the work that we're doing in terms of supporting mental health and mental health well-being right across Norfolk and Waveney and through the Mind organisation across the country. We've been very proud to be your nominated charity for this year as an organisation. It's through the presence and the profile of things like that that raise the awareness of mental health and the challenges of mental health within the community. It's probably no secret that nearly everybody in this room will either have suffered, is suffering, or will suffer from mental health challenges, or will know somebody who suffers from it. And the work of organisations like mine help to support those people in their day-to-day lives. And since the pandemic has started, and even before that, the demand for our services right across the county and through Waveney has just continued to increase. And our profile, as we've been trying to change how we work, has meant that we've got even more demand. And so contributions and support from organisations like yourselves and from corporate partners like yourselves means that we can do some of the other things that we'd love to do as an organisation. We receive about 80% of our funding is through statutory funding. That means that 20% of what we do is not funded and is raised through contributions through organisations. And we're in fact really grateful for your support. For those of you that might know Norwich well, we have opened something called the Rest Hub in the old Churchman House, which is a community hub in the centre of Norwich. It's been supported by the commissioning group and by Norfolk County Council, and it's been a very successful venture. We've had nearly 500 people through that, contacted through that organisation, that part of the organisation, since it opened. And over 98% of those have been successfully treated and supported through that organisation. So we're and without the need for sort of onward support to the crisis in the community. It's been expanded. The model's been so successful, it's been expanded, and we will be opening in Aylsham. And in support of that, there will also be community or spokes included. I think we're hoping to open a place here in Cromer, and so we can actually continue to support. So again, on behalf of Norfolk and Waveney Mind, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for everybody that's contributed to this check, and thank you to all the communities that this will allow us to support. Thank you.
So next up to receive their check on behalf of the Firefighters Charities Group Manager Stefan Ryder from Norfolk Fire Rescue Service.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for the support you've given to the Firefighters Charity over the year. And obviously this is a cause that's close to your own heart, because Firefighters Charity doesn't just support firefighters, it supports the entire fire service community, from the guys and girls out there riding the trucks, our control room staff who are the first point of call, and without whom we wouldn't be able to do our jobs at all, through to the whole support services and their families as well, and it supports them right throughout their careers and throughout the rest of their lives. So it's really important to us. I'm proud to manage all of the fire resources across North Norfolk, who you are now supporting to go out and help your communities. As our colleague from Mind has said, you know, what we've done over the last few years has changed radically with the pandemic. You know, we had to quickly switch our role to supporting the ambulance service. We helped roll out testing. We helped roll out the vaccination program. We started doing a lot more work with people in crisis, and not just going out and doing our usual business of putting fires out, taking people out of cars and such. And that change continues. Today, the government announced a white paper to look at the changing role of the fire service. And one of the things we're going to be doing in North Norfolk, hopefully, is working more closely with the East Anglian Ambulance Service to respond to cardiac arrests, again, to get out there and support your community. But with that comes the bigger challenge to both the physical health, because of the carrying, the lifting that we do far more with moving and handling of patients, but also the mental health toll that it can take. You know, and I myself can attest to that, going home and weeks, months later, just finding little things, just triggering memories of incidents that you've been to. So it's really important that we have that support there, and the Firefighters Charity supports us both physically and mentally with all the things they can do, from providing physiotherapy and rehab services to just providing someone to talk to. So we're really grateful, both for the donation that you're making, because we're entirely reliant on charity contributions, but also for the reach that you will have had through your organisation, getting out there, the events that we've done. So I'd like to thank everybody that's attended those events. So Jeremy, your fellow councillors, everyone that's come out to support those events. So thank you very much from the Firefighters Charity and from all of the firefighters in North Norfolk.
I have a couple more announcements. Through the last year, obviously do all the nice things, the nice events, and supporting the charities, etc. But none of this would have been possible without Kay and her support. So if Kay would like to come up to the front, got a little something. Lastly, you'll be aware there's a big event going on in June with the Jubilee. So from my chairman's pot, as it were, we have acquired Jubilee coins for all members of staff and all councillors, of which I think Sandra's going to keep hold of them. So if you'd like to see Sandra after the meeting, she will dish them out. And I believe heads of service are going to pass them out to members of staff. So just for awareness. Thank you, everyone. So that's really it for my niceties. One last formal bit to go. So item 2 on the agenda is an election of a chairman. Now, no pressure here, Pauline, but I understand the previous chairman did this meeting in 15 minutes. So if you could crack on, that'd be good. So this is the council meeting to elect the councillor to hold office as the chairman of North Norfolk District Council for the forthcoming municipal year. I will now take nominations for chairman of the council. Councillor Tory. Kershaw, sorry.
I'd like to nominate Pauline Grove-Jones to be chair for the next year.
So we have a proposer. And is there a second? Councillor Fredericks.
I would be delighted to second Pauline Grove-Jones as our chairman. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? Good. So I will now take a vote. If everyone's happy by a show of hands, all those in favour to signify their agreement. Vote for yourself, Pauline. Any against? Any abstentions? Good. So I hereby declare that Councillor Grove-Jones is elected chairman for the following year, and I invite the chairman-elect to receive their chain of office. Could you join me at the front, Pauline?
Disappearing. Oh. Yeah.
I've just got to sign this extremely important piece of paper. Oh, I, Councillor Grove-Jones, having been elected to the office of chairman at North Norfolk District Council for the civic year 2022 to 23, do declare that I hereby accept that office and will fulfil the requirements of that office to the best of my ability. I now sign this declaration. What's the date? Only joking. Thank you very much, everybody. Just a little something. I just got to say a few words. Thank you so much for electing me to serve as your chair for the coming year. Jeremy will be a hard act to follow, but I will try my best to live up to the high standard he has set. My thanks to him for all the support he has given me during the past year. Thank you, Jeremy. I've chosen 2 charities to support during my year in office. The first one is MAP, which is the Mancroft Advice Project, which I believe has now started up in North Norfolk. It has a section up here as of April of this year. And they support, give information, advice and advocacy services for young people living now in North Norfolk, and serves 11 to 25-year-olds who are experiencing mental health issues, which mirrors mind, risk of abuse, safeguarding issues, and homelessness, as well as joblessness. It's a fantastic facility. Advisors are available for one-to-one visits and appointments, and there are telephone conversations if required, and it's all free. It's a free service. I think it's really important to support these young people. And having been looking after the Stalham surgery for our previous MP for nearly 11 years, I can tell you that the number of families who were coming in with young people in desperate straits because they couldn't get any help for them. So I'm very pleased about that. My second charity is the Priscilla Baton Lodge. It's a hospice offering respite and day care and end-of-life care for residents in Norfolk. Based in Norwich at the moment, the present building has outlived its use. It only has 16 beds, and fundraising is ongoing to build a new hospice. I believe they raised the first 10 million since February. They want another 2.5 million to finish the project. I'm sure they'll be oversubscribed. And they're going to build a new hospice with 24 patient beds and family rooms for patients who've got young children and families, so that relatives can stay with them, especially towards the end of life. The new hospice will lie adjacent to the N&N on a dedicated 8-acre semi-rural site. And if you go online, it looks fantastic. They will also be a centre for palliative care research. So I think that's one that I wanted to do for the beginning, not quite the beginning of life, but for young, and for those of us not necessarily old. I mean, this hospice will cater for anybody who has a need. I do hope that we can all support these charities, as they are, and I will repeat, desperately needed in our district. And thank you all very much. I've finished. We now go to agenda item 4, the election of a vice chair for the council. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Gay, a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to nominate Sarah Butikofer.
Right. Is there a seconder? Sorry, I lost my notes there.
Yes, thank you. I would be delighted to second that.
Councillor Adams. Any other nominations from anyone? No?
Could I Madam
Yes.
Chairman,
Yes.
firstly, congratulations on your election as chairman. It's very well deserved honour, and I'm sure you will, as ever, be fair and impartial in undertaking the chairmanship of the council. But the second thing I'd like to ask for is a recorded vote on this, please.
Yes, of course.
Chair, a point of information, if I might.
Yes, sorry, yes.
I did wonder whether it was, I thought there was the convention that the vice chair and chairmanship oscillated between the groups on the council, and just to wonder why we are not moving from someone from the Conservative, the non-aligned or the independent group for the next year, i.e. the Liberal Democrats are sort of carpetbagging all the positions. And also, haven't we had enough of Sarah? You know, can someone else from not have the limelight?
I think that is an unnecessary remark, Mr. Hayman, Councillor Hayman, but I will pass to our monitoring officer to answer your question.
Thank you. That last comment, I don't think that was an appropriate comment for this forum. In regard to the earlier question, there's only been one proposed nomination for the position of chair. The other parties do have the opportunity to put forward someone to sit as chair and as vice chair. So
Sorry, could I just question the monitoring officer's comment that she just made in regards to the fact that she suggested mine was an inappropriate comment? I regard that as a party political statement and comment from the monitoring officer, and I wonder whether I could refer her and her comment to higher authorities, because I think her comment is out of order from a non-aligned civil servant.
you can certainly refer that to the chief executive. My point was, I don't think this is a forum for personal comment. I think we're at the position where we're taking vote.
Yes, right.
It's a recorded vote, so I'll go through the list in alphabetical order. Voting for the vice chair, Councillor Adams, 4. Councillor Blathwaite,
4.
Councillor Brown, Councillor Butakova, Pierre, Councillor Butakova, Councillor Cushing,
Against.
Councillor Fitch-Tillett,
4.
Councillor Fisher,
4.
Councillor T Fitzpatrick, Councillor V Fitzpatrick,
Against.
Councillor Fredericks,
4.
Councillor Gay, Councillor Grove Jones,
4.
Councillor Hayman, Councillor Heinink, Councillor Heinrich,
4.
Councillor Holiday, Councillor Kershaw,
4.
Councillor Mancini Boyle,
Against.
Councillor Pearce,
Against.
Councillor Penfold,
4.
Councillor Perry Warnes, Councillor Punchard,
4.
Councillor Rest, Councillor Seward, Councillor Shires, Councillor Spagnola,
4.
Councillor Stenton,
Against.
Councillor Stockton,
4.
Councillor Taylor, Councillor Toy,
4.
Councillor Vardy, Councillor Withington, 4. Councillor Yasmini, absent. So that's 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against and 1 abstention.
Thank you.
It's carried.
Yes, I can now state that I therefore declare Councillor Sarah Butikova elected Vice Chairman for the forthcoming year. Would you please join me, Sarah, to receive your chain of office? Yes. Felix, have you taken it? Yeah. Oh. Welcome, Sarah. I hope we have a very good year together. Now, the next item, item 5, I'm going to ask Councillor Adams to propose a
Yeah.
vote of thanks.
Thank you. I would like to propose a vote of thanks for Jeremy. I thank him for his service to the council this year and for championing Norfolk and Waveney Mind, and of course the Firefighters Charity. It's been a year in which we have been returning to some normality again. But in some respects, it was a most unusual challenge for every council. So I thank you for your part in guiding the council through that, both in and out to the chamber. And I thank you also for supporting events across the district and indeed across the county in a ceremonial capacity. And I really do hope that your family and yourself will treasure the memories of the experience. You've done a fantastic job for us, and we really appreciate it. So thank you, Jeremy. And I propose that vote of thanks.
Thank you. Is there a second to this vote of thanks? Councillor Shires. Councillor Shires seconds the vote of thanks. We'll now go past to the. No, there was one. Well, excuse me, there's a slight hiccup here. No. No. Oh, Jeremy, come on. Dear. I forgot to give you your 5 shilling gift. I do apologise. It's going to be like this all year, actually, so don't worry about it. Oh, right. Where are you? Come on. You'll have to forgive me, sort of not getting up. Right, this is for you, my love. I told you that's the 5 shilling one.
Thank you.
And this is the £10 one for Oscar.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
There
Thank
you
you very much. Thank you.
Dear. Can we go on to the next one now? Of course you can.
As he was one of our candidates. Councillor Punchard has represented NNDC with respect and honour as expected of our chairmans. I know he will continue to behave in a manner expected of members who have held this position previously. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Right, now I'm going to ask Emma if we could have apologies for absence, please.
Yes, so received apologies from councillor Bevan-Jones, councillor Birch, councillor Dixon, councillor Housden, councillor Lloyd, councillor Barley and councillor Yassini.
Thank you. Now can we go to item 7? This is to confirm the minutes of the meeting of the 27th of April council. Now, I'm not going to go through this page by page, but are there any comments as to the accuracy of these minutes? Anybody found anything? Who's that? Oh, Saul, yes.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations to you and to Sarah on your appointments. Just on page 3 of the minutes, third paragraph up from the bottom. Let's wait for everyone to get there. Page 3, third paragraph up, concerning councillor Hayman's questions to councillor Adams on his personal efforts to support Ukrainian refugees. I would like it minuted, please, that I did comment on councillor Hayman's subsequent question, which itself isn't recorded here, when he asked councillor Adams to congratulate, or would he like to congratulate Duncan Baker MP on his hosting of a Ukrainian family. My comment was that I found the word congratulate in this context a rather poor choice, its use being, I felt, inappropriate and distasteful. I commented that to congratulate someone in this context made it seem as if hosting a refugee was some kind of competition with a prize, and it seemed to me to be a very poor attempt at political point scoring. And frankly, it was just one in a long line of distasteful and inappropriate comments from councillor Hayman. Thank you.
Thank you. Your comments are noted. We now go to councillor. Oh, I'm so sorry, Vincent. Councillor Fitzpatrick, I must get used to going formal thing. Thank you, Vincent.
First of all, congratulations on your election to the chairman. It might seem like a nitty small point, but the printed versions I got, and certainly I think some other people have, on page 6, 7 and 8, the text is cut off to the right-hand margin. And it makes a bit of a guessing game of what was actually being said. But I think really I want to point out is a hope that the printed copy for public record does not suffer these problems. I know it's a bit of a nitpicky
No, we
point.
have noted that, Councillor Fitzpatrick, and Emma has actually said that she is correcting this for public use.
Okay, right, thank you very much.
So thank you for pointing that out. Now, I can't get used to using this thing, I must say. Where are we on to now? Declarations of interest. Oh, I've got to agree the minutes. I think I'll go home. Proving to be a little difficult. No, we need to approve the minutes. Can I have a proposer, please? Seconder, Richard Kershaw, Harry Blathwaite, seconding. Would you raise your hands if you agree? Minutes. It's not unanimous.
Could you raise your hands quite high so I can count? Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 25, 26, 27.
Any against? And
1.
And the abstentions, please. I know there are some abstentions because of not being here.
And 2 abstentions.
3.
3 abstentions.
Do I have any items of urgent business? Declarations of interest? I don't think I do. Any declarations of interest? Quick. No. Urgent business? No. Right. Tim, do you want to make any announcements?
Thank you. I really just wish to briefly reflect on the achievements of staff at this council in the last year. This time last year, casting your mind back, we were meeting at Gresham's I've just broken the microphone. In most unusual circumstances for us, it is the case that staff at every level of this organisation did some wonderful work in adapting to the circumstances during COVID, and of course supporting businesses and residents, for which the council was recognised nationally for its work with business grants. We are extremely grateful to staff for managing to go about delivering business as usual, these day-to-day activities that perhaps we don't speak enough about, and keep the council moving, delivering for residents and businesses across the district every day. The staff at the council have reacted swiftly to every challenge thrown at them, which have necessitated new ways of working. And of course, that was evidenced only again recently by the council's response to the needs of Ukrainian refugees coming to the district. And we were heartened to read of the staff who were involved in efforts to support people in a voluntary capacity as well. Clearly, attention is now on some big issues for residents, including living costs and perhaps the biggest challenge we face in the district, housing. But we have seen some fantastic achievements for the District Council last year with the completion, of course, of the Reef swimming pool, which is, of course, was unique, as many authorities have not been opening leisure facilities. We've seen other new facilities, like new public toilets, replacement public toilets, and temporary accommodation. The council has retained its blue flag beaches and its green flag woodlands, and all these things and more are evidence of the achievements of our staff. But if nothing else explains what a dynamic group of people they are. The Mammoth Marathon, of course, occurred on Sunday, and we all would want to thank Colin Brown and all of the staff who helped at that event. We have seen so much praise for what a well organised event it was, very well supported by people coming to support those taking part all along the route in the towns and villages. And it was certainly challenging, even for experienced runners taking part, but people were very happy with their personal achievements at the finishing line. And, we must also thank the volunteers who helped deliver this wonderful event with the drink stations and so forth. And I hope that there are more of these events in years to come. It was certainly an inspiration for us to do more, and I hope that you all support that. So well done to Colin and the leisure team for that wonderful event. Lastly, I wish to give thanks to all of the councillors from all of the groups, and even of course the non-aligned councillors we have on the council. You are all valued by me, by this authority, for the work that you do every day and for the work you do in the community. And I wish you all the very best for the year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Adams. We now go on to item 12, item 11, report on the appointment of members of the Cabinet. Would you like to report on that, please, Councillor Adams?
Thank you. There are no changes to the Cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you. We now go on to agenda item 12, which is to establish the political balance of the council and allocation of seats to committees, subcommittees, working parties and panels. Do any of the group leaders wish to speak at this point? Councillor Rest.
Thank you, Chairman. I do have some additions and changes, but I'm not sure if you're doing it now or under agenda item 13, which is the appointments.
Under 13, please.
So are we,
13.
wait for 13?
Yeah.
Fine, thank you.
And Councillor Cushing, have you anything to say?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
That's not up yet, is it? Oh, yes, I beg your pardon. We now need to look at recommendation 3, which Cara has pointed out to me. I'm going to pass over to Cara so she can tell you what's happening here. We've got it slightly muddled, I think, so she's going to put us perfectly straight.
Thank you. This is in regard to agenda item 12. There are 4 recommendations. As members will be aware, we're now looking at two separate licensing committees, one of which has to be politically balanced under the normal procedures, but that is the licensing regulatory committee, not the premises and gambling committee. So that recommendation needs to be amended to that the political balance rules are waived for the licensing regulatory committee to allow independent group members to be included on the rota for the hearings and sit on the panels, section 3.3 below.
Are we okay with that? Yes, anybody against this at all? No. Do I have a proposer then for agenda item 12? Who's got the hand up? Jeremy?
I move to propose to accept the proposals, Madam Chair.
Right, thank you.
Can I just ask for a point of information? Sorry, it's showing 4 independents. Is that still correct? As of
I think so.
numbers, I understood. Is that correct? Okay, thanks. Thanks for that. That answers the point.
Is that all right? Right. Do I have a proposer? I'm going to do this again. Jeremy. And is there a seconder? Councillor Toy. Could we have a show of hands? All those in favour? Anybody against, please? And abstentions? Abstentions. Now go to agenda item 13. Appointment of members and substitutes to committees, subcommittees, working parties and panels. Does anybody wish to speak at this time? Right. Councillor West.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, there are some changes, but they are marked in there in red. So I'd like that to be accepted. But there is one omission, which is on page 27. Under the Employment and Appeals Committee, under Vice Chairman, it should have Councillor Angie Fitzgerald, sorry, in there because she was elected to be that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
The rest of them are as they're marked in red. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor West. Yes, we'll note that. And Councillor Cushing, have you anything to add?
I think the only thing I possibly agreed subsequent to the publication of the agenda was requesting that Councillor Gerard Mancini Boyle be appointed to the board of HMP Bure Prison, which I believe is in his neighbourhood, so, which was accepted by the council.
Thank you. Yes, that's the next item. Right. Do I have a proposer then for agenda item 13? Councillor Heinrich and seconder, Councillor Seawood. All those in favour? It's unanimous. Thank you. Agenda item 14. Appointment of chairman and vice chairman to committees. Anybody wish to speak from this? Councillor Rest?
No, thank you.
Councillor Cushing? Your one comes in this one. Oh, the next one. Right, okay, fine. I've listened to anybody now. That's it. Right, so is there a proposer for this, please? Councillor Pierre Butikova and Seconder is councillor Spagnola. Would you please raise your hands if you are in favour of this? Unanimous, thank you. Now we come to the viewer. Agenda item 15, appointment of members to outside bodies. And we have it set out in appendices A to C. First, are members in agreement with this? Right, could you please have a proposer?
Doing them
Councillor
individually.
Frederick, second, councillor Punchard.
Doing them individually.
We're just doing appendices A to C at the moment. Outside bodies. Number 15. Yeah. I'm not surprised if you're a bit confused. because
No,
we
not
were
really.
trying to sort this out
Um,
earlier.
Sorry, you're saying A to C. I've got 1 to 4.
Yeah, well, you'll find in your papers,
Yeah,
it actually says
okay, so we're doing A first.
A and C together.
Okay, I have a,
C is the last page. It
Okay.
doesn't actually say it's C.
okay.
That's
Can,
what's through us all.
okay, can I make a recommendation
course you
in
can.
appendix A under the Bacton Gas Terminal that's marked down as 2 vacancies? Can I ask that councillor Fitch Tillett be appointed to that because her ward is quite near to that area, please?
You bring it back, Andrew. Is that all right? Yep, okay, fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. So do we have a proposer for this to accept these A and C?
I do have one more, Chairman, I'm sorry. If
We're
I-
just doing that to make it awkward.
I know. The Norfolk Rivers Internal Drainage Board on page 32
Yeah,
also carries a vacancy. And again, I think it would be suitable if councillor Angie Fitzgerald could sit on that because of her coastal portfolio, if that's acceptable, please. And that's it.
accept that. You accept that? Councillor Cushing, have you anything to say for the outside bodies for
Put it
A
in
and
now.
C? Okay. Right, do we have a proposer? Councillor Kershaw, seconder, councillor Blathwaite. Can we please have a hands show? 4. Right, thank you. Now we're going to executive appointments. Appendix B is only for noting. These are appointments which are made by the executive. Appendix B, we don't have to vote on them. That is the second page, second lot. Appendix B, representatives, executive. Okay?
Yep.
And I think we've now reached the end of this council meeting. Now, the very important bit is to say thank you to all of you for putting up with my blunders, and misreading everything here. And also to say that members of the council and members of staff are very welcome to join Jeremy and myself for a libation, just a tiny one, and guests, yes, in the committee room, immediately following my gavel closed. This meeting is closed.